On the vast treeless plain of the Arctic tundra, the harsh grip of winter is beginning to slacken. Far to the south, flocks of snow geese are leaving their wintering grounds near the Gulf of Mexico to begin a long journey northward. The snow geese will be joined by other birds migrating from the south, guided by some mysterious instinct along a precise course to the Arctic. First to arrive in the Arctic is the willow ptarmigan, ending its short migration from southern Canada. The male ptarmigan's winter plumage has already begun to change to the darker color that will protect it in summer. Several weeks will pass before the snow melts and other birds join the ptarmigan. By the end of May, several more species of birds have arrived. With the melting of the snow, a vast area has become available for nesting sites. And this may be one factor that draws the birds from their more crowded wintering grounds. The parasitic jaeger has spent the winter at sea, off the coasts of South America. The sandhill crane has come from wintering grounds as far south as Mexico. And the Arctic tern has ended its migration of 10,000 miles from the Southern Ocean near Antarctica, the longest distance covered by any migrating bird. The terns will nest on the shores of the Arctic Ocean. Other birds, such as the Arctic loon, prefer the large inland lakes. Loons are good swimmers, but are very awkward on land, so they build their nests as close to the water as possible. The phalaropes have migrated from the ocean off the northern coasts of South America. The red phalarope is one of 3 species with different coloration. To find the water insects that make up part of their diet, phalaropes often stir up the water by spinning. This is a northern phalarope. Another shorebird, the ruddy turnstone, finds insects by turning over stones and other objects. A flock of snow geese has arrived, and each pair is selecting a nesting site. The nests will be close together, forming a kind of loose colony. But each nesting area is considered private territory to be defended from all intruders. As the nesting season approaches, the plumage of the willow ptarmigan continues to change. The male now has about half of his darker summer feathers. The female has changed more quickly. By nesting time, when the eggs are laid, she is well camouflaged in her summer plumage. If the nest of an Arctic bird is left unguarded, it may be raided by parasitic jaegers or other predators who feed on the eggs. In guarding their own nests from an approaching predator, Jaegers distract the enemy by pretending to have a broken wing. In June, the plant life of the tundra bursts suddenly into bloom under a sun that never sets. The vegetation is a food supply for grazing birds like the snow goose. It's been a little more than 3 weeks since the eggs were laid. Soon the young snow geese will be ready to emerge. Other young birds have also hatched. The Lapland longspur is one of the few songbirds that nest in the Arctic. Young water birds, like this whistling swan, don't need to be fed by their parents. A few hours after hatching, they're able to move about on their own. Like the swans, young snow geese are able to swim and to feed themselves. Adult snow geese mate for life, and the family is a close-knit unit that will remain together long after the young have learned to fly. The summer sun is warm, but even now the Arctic winds are chilling, and the young geese seek shelter and warmth from the bodies of their parents. There are other families of geese in the tundra. These are blue geese. Except for their color, blue geese are identical to snow geese. In fact, a blue goose will often mate with a snow goose. At one time, they were classified as separate species, but now there's little doubt that they represent only a color variation within the same species. Late in the summer, the adult snow geese lose their wing feathers all at once. For about 3 weeks, while new feathers are growing in, they will not be able to fly. This flightless period is useful to the scientists who study migrating birds. Since the geese can't fly, They are easily surrounded and driven into pens. Then, small metal bands can be placed on the birds. Later, when a banded bird is found in some other part of the world, scientists will know where it has been and how far it has traveled. By late August or early September, the young geese have learned to fly, and their parents have grown new wing feathers. The long southward flight begins. During the long polar winter, the geese and the other birds we've seen will live in many different parts of the world. But when spring returns, they will gather once more on the breeding grounds of the Arctic.